Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? We're back, man. Good to be back. Good to be back. Man, not used to taking that many days off, you know. It's odd. It's odd. Everybody's doing well. We're back at it. Back to normal schedule. So tomorrow will be another day off, unfortunately, but I need it. I've got like life appointments, and I've got we got to get back on our normal schedule. I haven't taken the past couple Wednesdays off because of other things, and so you know, even though I had this vacation, I got to take tomorrow off. So be prepared for that. But that is our normal schedule, so we're going to be back on that, and then we'll be back to streaming the rest of the week. I think we're actually going to be doing, I got to touch base with Tinwin. I think we're going to be doing some endless dungeon stuff maybe this weekend, yeah? I did. Get wrecked. That's not leave, dude. That's normal day off. It's not leave. It's normal day off. Leave was this past weekend. Yeah. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Ferret? So, yeah, man, we've got a lot of news to catch up on, I'm sure, from being gone the past 3 days. Tired but good. Yeah, I feel that one, dude. I feel that. So glad you're doing well, buddy. So we'll hop in here. We'll do video gaming news for today, September 5th. We've got I've got our search dates set up to basically cover everything from the time I've been gone. So we'll try to catch up on everything that's happened for the most part, anyways, that we can find since I've been on my holiday here, and then we'll dive into another day of Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, and we might take a bit to talk about the upcoming schedule, fix the schedule up a bit if we want. I might do that tomorrow on the day off. That's a content day and stuff for me to work on stuff, so we'll see. But it'll be a good day. So let's hop in here, man. Let's do this. Let's go. Boom. Yeah, it was fine, man. It was fine. And I am. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. So, ready to get back in the groove, baby. You know, this is my jam. This is what I love to do. I'm glad to be back streaming and in my element. You know. So, here we go. Let's get that death counter off of there. How about that? Yeah. We'll leave the tunes rolling. I might turn them down just a tad while we there we go. Let's do that while we roll through the news here. But I got the date set up from the 1st to the 5th. That way we'll try to catch anything that we might have missed since I've been gone. Okay. Let's see here. Starfield stuff everywhere. Kind of figured that would be the case. All I really care about with Starfield is looking into really reviews and performance, how the game's performing on platforms and stuff. That's what I want to know. You know, other than that, I don't want to see a whole lot of Redfield stuff. Or not Redfield, Starfield. I saw Redfall right here. Starfield stuff, because in the event that I end up playing it at some point in the future, I don't really want to know a whole lot about it, you know. So, but we'll take a dive in review-wise and see what's going on there. We looked at it as we, you know, right before we left, and between today and tomorrow, we'll start getting a lot of the user review stuff coming out, because the actual full release drop date is upon us now, and it's just been early access stuff currently. So user reviews have not really been something you can see on Steam yet. You can't see them on Metacritic yet or anything like that. Oh, for real, Ferret? Yeah, one of the big, I think a lot of what I've heard and seen so far, the big negative feedback that I get from people is the bleakness of it being an open world game, right? It's big. It's a big open world game. It's got a lot, that roughly 1,000 planets in it, and only about 10% of those actually inhabit life. So from what I've heard, a lot of people say that they don't like that, and I can see both sides of it. So Bethesda had a very particular creative mindset whenever they developed this game, and that they wanted it to feel more like an expedition for you. They wanted it to feel closer to what we know about many of these solar systems and things like that from our own perspective here on Earth, which is that most planets out there, it's roughly probably, below 10% probably actually, inhabit some form of life. And at least that's what we suspect. And they wanted to develop it to be that way. That if we were to finally get to a point where we were out and able to, really explore space, they wanted people to have the experience of that's what it would be like. And so a lot of people have this mindset where they're playing the game, they're going, this is boring. These planets are barren, they're bleak, there's relatively nothing on 90% of them, and I can, from the game player's point of view, that does suck. From the game player's point of view, that's not something very fun. I think that what it does is it opens up the possibility of having a lot of retail space in the game for modders to play with, as well as Bethesda to play with for content moving forward. But currently, it does feel a bit lackluster as far as the open world development is concerned. But I do try to stress to people that is what Bethesda's mindset was the entire time making this game, and they were very vocal about it. It wasn't a matter of them trying to make a world and make it feel bleak. It was a matter of them trying to make this universe and trying to make it feel a little more like what we suspect the entire realm of space to be like. And if you were to go explore that space, you would have to be prepared for that fact, right? Right, exactly. Yeah, they wanted it to be, obviously, the game is going to be a lot of fiction, right? There's a lot that the game is built off of a non-factual baseline, but to a great extent, they did want it to feel very, very realistic in what we know about space and things like that too, which is why they did it that way. So I do try to stress that fact to people, and I think for a lot of gamers, they don't really care, but I do think it's important they understand what Bethesda's mindset was when they were developing the game and why it is the way it is. It doesn't change the fact. I'm not trying to change the way they feel about the game, because it's hard not to feel bored by that fact of 9 out of 10 planets you go to, there's virtually nothing on them. You know what I mean? But I will say that at least there is that retail there in the game, that real estate, if you will, on all these planets for modders to play with, for Bethesda to maybe add more content to moving forward. We'll see how that goes. So I think the glass is half full there, really. We'll just have to see what happens. Yeah. That's been the biggest negative feedback that I've heard from people so far. We talk about that a lot. I mean, the struggle of an open world game development process and trying to make the entire thing feel nice and entertaining the whole way through. Whether it be with different biomes where you're finding secrets and it makes you, or you know, like kind of little interesting side mission kind of things that make you want to explore the whole area out, as opposed to these games that have just been built on big open world environments that are bleak and boring, and you start exploring them in the game, then about, you know, a quarter of the way into the game you go, there's no point in this is just a time waste, it's a time sink, and there's nothing, I'm getting nothing out of it, it feels terrible, you know. It's a tough thing to, you know, I think a lot of developers have gotten into a bad mindset with this, we just need to make it big, we just need to make it big, you know. And I don't think that was what Bethesda was doing. They were trying to make it more realistic, but a lot of developers have done that. Just make it big, that's what it's supposed to be, just make it big, but that's not all there is to it, right? Bethesda says Redfall will get to be a good game. Oh, really? Believe it when I see it. Make it big, dude. Yeah. Or he said, whatever, dude. 3 more PS Plus Essential games are available to download now. Oh, we're probably going to talk about this again today. Just a precursor here. Before I left, we found out that PlayStation had decided to raise their prices on their PS Plus tiers by about 25 to 30% annually. I don't see any reason why they have. I don't know how they come across seeing themselves as being in a position of being able to raise prices right now. We'll talk about it. I've talked about it before I left. That's a weird deal, man. Look at that too. Wait, what? Did I only get? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this too. Let's pull up Metacritic for Starfield, see if it's changed at all. Tomorrow's going to be the big day again. Oh, god dang it, dude. I meant to type in Starfield too. It's fine. Out. Okay, it's right here. Yeah, it's roughly the same. It's gone down just a little bit. Oh, dude, I think I got stun locked by an eyelash. Ouch, dude. Ouch. Starfield, come on, come on. Yeah, okay, so on Series X, it's an 86, PC, 88. It's roughly right where it was before I left. Yeah. But again, I mean, until tomorrow's news segment, we won't really be able to see user reviews. Same thing on Steam. You can't see user reviews on Steam right now either. Because the release date, the full release date of the game hasn't happened yet, so... Tomorrow's when we're really going to be able to start checking out what user reviews are for the game, not just critic reviews. There will be some sites out there that have already allowed some of that, I'm sure, but these are the ones I usually look at. So what I did want to look at is let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. Before I left, while I was gaming on Friday, I had some people coming in telling me that there were PC players having significant performance issues, which I hadn't heard until then, for Starfield. Timwin, I hadn't gotten to take a look at that. I saw it in Discord, and I was going to grab it here in just a second, buddy. No. I didn't get to take a deep look at it. I appreciate you posting it. I just haven't had a whole lot of time because of the holiday and stuff. But I did see it posted in Discord. I just didn't have time. I was going to grab it here in a second. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Let's take a look at this. See what's going on here with the PC side of things. That's what I kind of, whenever I glanced at it, that's what I figured it probably was. Yeah. Yeah. A bit of a subtle adult humor there, if you will. Yeah. Oh, yo. You shake weight jam. What up, Davey? Yeah. Booty, baby. 19 inches of dinner. They're pretty funny, Gabs. Yo, what's up, Davey? Yeah. Yeah, Tinwin, yeah. Yeah, that definitely would make it funnier, dude. But yeah, no, I mean, I do, one of the things I wanted to see was actually like how much that, so that's something that's always interesting to me. One of the reasons I wanted to bring it up, and since you're already, you just reminded me, I might as well grab it real quick. Where's that? Down, pump, oh, wham, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, this guy. Yeah. Treat yourself to 19 inches of venom. God dang, dude. Oh, God. So this is what the more, I mean, it is still funny, but yeah, it would have been a riot if it was not intended, but my more interested part of this is like knowing how much this is going to cost, This is what is always interesting to me. I'm always interested in finding out how much these collector's editions cost because they are usually insanely overpriced. You know what I mean? It's really, really crazy. I remember back in the day, like, God, what did I pay for the? I mean, it's gotten crazier and crazier and crazier as we've moved on. With these like collector's editions of really hyped games and stuff. I mean, what was like the major collection of? I mean, the Starfield one, the biggest one for Starfield was like over $300, right? The biggest one for Armored Core, which the Armored Core one was kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie. It had like the big mech that had like its own garage and stuff, but that thing was stupid expensive. As opposed to like, I remember whenever I got collector's edition of D3 back in the day, and there's a lot of crap that came in that. There was a lot of really cool stuff that came in the D3 collector's edition, and I think I paid, I want to say I paid $90 to $100 for that. And it had some really cool stuff in it, dude. And like nowadays you see these things coming out and they're like $300 to $500, and it's like, good flipping night. Oh yeah. Yeah, Tim. I mean, yeah, buying away like big time. You know what I mean? They're making a killing off this stuff, It's insane. But again, I mean, they know people will pay it. Otherwise, they wouldn't produce it and market it and sell it for the prices they do, right? That's just crazy to me that so many people are willing to buy into the price points of that kind of stuff. It's really wild. But yeah, we'll take a look at that, and then we'll look up the price points on like the different editions of Spider-Man 2. Look, I'll say this again too, and I'll repeat myself. As I get into it, I'm just glad Insomniac is almost finished with Spider-Man 2. They'll still be focused on it for a bit because of the release and then some patching and stuff. they'll still be heavily focused on it, and they still will be working on it moving forward. But I want Wolverine, dude. That's why I am excited for them to be finished with the majority of this project and be moving on, because their next project's Wolverine, dude. And that's what I want. Give me Wolverine, baby. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, me too. Me too, yeah. Which is why quite often even games I'm really interested in, if I'm not familiar with the developer or I'm not comfortable with the developer because of things they've done in the past, there's just, I always advise people to be careful. And I don't normally buy into it either, There have been occasions where I haven't been like with Hogwarts Legacy, and it panned out bad, dude. It was a developer I wasn't familiar with, wasn't real comfortable with it, but I went ahead and did it anyways because it was pretty hype. A lot of people in the community wanted to see it, and I wanted to see it too, so I bought into it on release, and it was terrible, And it was just another example of why not to do that kind of thing. But quite often, I'm in the same boat, buddy. Yeah, I don't. It's just too risky, dude. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's what I've heard. There's a lot. There's always tons of. Well, what I had read was they're making. It wasn't an official. It wasn't official. They're making Hogwarts Legacy 2. Avalanche, which is the developer behind Hogwarts Legacy, has 2 projects that are currently in development. I think it's safe to assume one of those is going to be Hogwarts Legacy 2. I think that's basically what the assumption of most people are going to be under. That's what I would assume. It's been very lucrative for them. So I would assume, but I don't think they've announced it. I don't think they've actually formally, officially announced it from themselves. But what we did read was that they're like working on 2 new projects, and it's just safe to assume one of those is going to be Hogwarts Legacy 2, I think, yeah. Unless I missed it. Unless I missed it in some kind of official capacity, but I hadn't seen anything official come out of them. We could try to look it up. How do you even spell avalanche? I got it, dude. Yeah, back around, this seems about right. It was like May, June timeframe where we had like read they were officially working on some new stuff, but it wasn't titled or anything. Yeah, that's basically where I go with most stuff, Fairy. Yeah, it's like, oh, that looks probably not right, but if it's close enough, I just hit enter and it'll tell me if it's wrong. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, so here's like July 7th right here. This is some of the stuff I'm sure that we had come across, stuff like this. Warner Brothers Games, Avalanche Software listed jobs, hinted rumors of Hogwarts Legacy 2 in development. So that's a lot of what it was like they had announced they were working on new stuff, and as well as like their job listings and everything had kind of indicated it was probably something for Hogwarts Legacy 2. And I mean, let's be fair, something's been that lucrative for you, that profitable, and that big of a title for you, you're probably going to go right back in and make another one, So I think it's safe to assume that's probably where they're at. We had kind of hit on that stuff previously, though. So, till something official comes out, I'll just, assume that that's what they're doing. Oh, excuse me, guys. Yo, Tinwin, you still hanging, dude? Hanging. You want to do Endless Dungeon Saturday and Sunday this weekend? You want to do it this weekend? Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday? What were you thinking, man? We can talk offline too, but I figured since you were here, we could start addressing it a little bit. When does it kick off? I thought it said the 7th, but I'd need to go back and take a look. When and how you get to go. It was the 7th. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I remembered the 7th. Okay, cool. Well, let's yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Keep me in the loop. Well, let's just right now we'll plan. I mean, I didn't know if you had anything going on this weekend or not, though, So if you don't have anything going on, and we're assuming it is kicking off on the 7th, and we're assuming that you're going to get these keys and everything, safe to say we'll probably do some of that Saturday and Sunday, yeah. That was kind of my thought process there. But I didn't know if you had anything personally going on this weekend where you wouldn't be available. By the way, how did this community get me started playing Pokemon Go, dude? That's a very dangerous flipping game right there. Like, what the crap? Flipping Pinky and Psycho and Gabs got me playing Pokemon Go. It's a dangerous flipping game, dude. God dang it. Should be free. Less surprised. Oh, okay, cool, yeah. All right, well, I'm just going to go under the assumption that we'll be playing it. Oh, yeah, okay, well, we need to be friends then, buddy. Apparently. So, yeah, Timwin, I'll just go under the, because I'm probably going to update our schedule our for the stream for games and stuff. I'm probably just going to throw Endless Dungeon on the next few weekends. I didn't know if you were wanting to play anything outside of the weekends or not, though. But we can, yeah, we'll DM and talk about that or whatever, dude. If you want, I didn't know if you were planning on trying to do anything more than that. What your availability was, things like that. But at the very least, I figured probably the next couple of a few weekends we'd try to get it done on there. But we'll talk about it, buddy. I just knew we needed to talk about it once I got back and you were here, so. Yeah. All right, fair. Slide up in my DMs, dude. I wonder when we're going to get some new information about the Lenovo Legion Go. I'll probably go 4 pages today. I usually only go 3 pages on each of our searches, but I'll go 4. Try to make sure we're covering as much as possible. No. Tornado. What up, Tornado? Tornado! What's up? How's it going, my friend? Word up, word up. It's good to see you, buddy. I'm good, man. I'm good. Back in my element, dude. Hanging out with cool peeps. Talking about games. Gonna play some games. I'm back in it, baby. Ready to roll. What's up with you, man? How was your weekend? RDR3 officially in the works. It's claimed. All right, let's talk about that. Oh, dude. Well, here we go, guys. The holidays were fine, dude. Yeah, they were fine. Yeah. Glad to be back. Glad to be back. Thanks for asking, buddy. Hogwarts Legacy 2 in development. It's claimed. Dude, this we were just talking about this. If I had just gone another page, man. Jeez. Oh, dude, you worked all weekend, bro. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Are you gonna get some days off coming up? Saints Row isn't dying following Volition's shutdown? Then who is Embracer handing it off to? Interesting. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear about this, Volition got shut down by their parent company, Embracer. Embracer has shut Volition down, a company that's been around for over 30 years now. Oh, okay, word. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, yeah. That does still feel like work, though, when you have to do that stuff. No doubt about it. Yeah, I got you, buddy. Yeah. Well, don't burn yourself out, man. Take time to relax every once in a while. You know what I mean? Um, so Volition, which I think initially they were Parallax. Is that correct? Ferret. We talked about this, right? It was Parallax, wasn't it? I think it was Parallax. Volition was originally Parallax. They started off with games like Red Faction and Descent and stuff like that way back in the day. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. And they were a notable developer for quite some time, even through the earlier 2000s and stuff, where they were doing the Saints Row games. Especially Saints Row 1 through 3 were pretty solid titles. A lot of people liked those games. And unfortunately, I think that you can kind of see a correlation between the time that they got bought out, which I think was around 2020, and probably a little bit before that, they started hitting some tough times. They got bought out by Embracer. And let's be fair, Embracer's not a company that is, to me at least, seems really invested in a lot of in-house development. They're usually looking for ways that they can scoop up IPs. They're all about the portfolio, right? Like we saw, the beginning of this year, where they had, they bought all of Square Enix's. Well, it was the end of last year. They bought all of Square Enix's North American development studios. Along with that, they got Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, and Thief IPs. And then they turned around within the next 6 months, and all they did was sell the Tomb Raider IP to Amazon for double what they bought all that content for. Stuff like that. EA clone, basically Ferret. Yep. Embracer does come off pretty disgusting, dude. No doubt about it. I mean, honestly, the way this situation has kind of seemed to me is that they acquired Volition. They did give Volition a chance to continue to be a studio and a part of their company and everything, but I mean, let's be fair. Saints Row reboot was, I didn't play it, but everything I know about it was that it was pretty terrible, and that's all it really took. That's all it really took for Embracer to go, you guys are done, right? So we're shutting you down. We talked about it already, but apparently Saints Row isn't going to die. And let's be fair. Again, Embracer knew what they were getting whenever they took on Volition. There's a lot of IPs underneath that name, Saints Row being a big one. And now that's Embracer's. So Embracer's going to do what they can to use the all that Embracer or all that Volition content to their benefit, right? However, whether it be remasters or remakes or new games in the series or whatever, with handing it out to new studios to take on, or it's theirs. This is what they do, right? Yeah. So basically, EA. Yeah, you're good, Ferret. No worries, dude. We'll talk about it though. We'll bring it up. Yeah, we've talked enough about Project Q, or what was previously Project Q and is now known as PlayStation Portal. I'm not a big fan of it, but you know, to each their own. Let's go look at our other search real quick, see what else we can find. Let's delete that. Delete that. Do I have a you know what we need to take a look at? Here, let's get rid of this. Let's search for this real quick. Here we go. Games Radar, IGN. Games Radar works. This will probably be a decent one. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Since I didn't get to take a look at this on the first. Oh, dude, he got Pixel Bob. Look. Yo, Ferret got Pixel Bob as his lurk emote. That's fantastic, dude. Pixel Bob, so good. So we'll take a look at this too. We'll probably just start off with this. All the video game releases, the notable releases for this month, across all platforms and stuff. It's appropriate. I'll probably bookmark that too. That way, if anybody needs to know when, specifically when a game's releasing this month, hit me up and I'll get it to you. Okay. While we're live or whatever. Yeah. EA. Oof. So gross, man. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the the PS Plus price hike stuff again today. I've got an article up already that's just talking about new three more PS Plus games added. I don't know if it's talking about the ones we've already talked about or actually additional ones that have come across since I've been on holiday the past 3 days, because the original ones that they pushed out, and funny enough, for September, their like highlight game was Saints Row Reboot. And there were a couple of other very mediocre games. And everybody was like, what is this? So I'm hoping that they took note and actually released some other games, added some other games to the service for this month for their subscribers. But they raised their prices for the subscription service substantially, and I don't personally feel like they had any reason to. Not yet, anyways. We'll talk about though. Square Enix has confirmed Final Fantasy 16 PC version and DLC. We'll talk about this. What I'm also going to talk about is, look, I truly don't feel that this is not a true Final Fantasy game. I feel like they took an action combat game and they skinned it as a Final Fantasy game. They put enough content in there to call it Final Fantasy, but the core of what Final Fantasy games are was totally stripped away in this game for the most part. So, I don't care to play this game. I think for all the PC gamers out there, you just need to know that if you're a Final Fantasy fan, not that the game's not bad. I think it's actually developed very well, but it's not a Final Fantasy game. It's like a Devil May Cry, a Bayonetta game, something like that. And it's not what traditional Final Fantasy fans expect out of a Final Fantasy game. So if you are more of a traditional Final Fantasy fan, you're probably going to find yourself a bit off-put by what you experience in this game. I think you just need to be ready for that. Bro, it's taking them forever to get this series out, and it's driving me crazy. Arcane, dude, the League of Legends adaptation on Netflix is so good. I'm not even a League of Legends fan. I'm not like a hater or anything. I've dabbled in the game a little bit just to kind of see what it was about. It wasn't really for me. And but this adaptation on Netflix is phenomenal. The artwork, like the animation, the music, the story, the writing, it's all really, really, really good. I've been waiting for the next season to come, dude. When did the first season release? Beginning of 2022? Something like that? Maybe end of 2021? Can't remember. It feels like it's been out forever because I've been wanting more of it. It probably hasn't been that long, but God, it feels like it. Take a look at it. What? Nah. Okay. All right, man. Okay, never mind. Yo, 1 second. Yeah, it looks like that website's down. Okay. Feels bad. One more page, then we'll dive into all this stuff. Oh, dude, Ashes of Creation gameplay video shows impressive player run town. Ashes of Creation is an MMO, dude, that people have been just starving for forever. I remember when this thing went into like an alpha play status, it looked terrible. People were paying like $100 to get in and play the alpha of this game. It looked bad. Steam Deal gives you a highly rated game for $1. Let's take a look at what that is. Alright, let's stick with this. Stick with this. God, I'm gonna need more coffee, dude. Steam Deal gives you a highly rated game for $1. The best deal on Steam right now gives you a highly rated game for $1 US. Limited time though, guys. 13 more days at the moment of writing. This was on yesterday. Comes the way of Fanatical. Yeah, Fanatical is a legitimate site. It's very basically everything that they sell in there they give you a Steam key. It's part of a larger build your own summer bundle. Allows Steam users to choose one game from a select list of games and get said game for $1. Meanwhile, the more games you bundle in, the cheaper it gets per game. However, the other options are 5 games for $3, 10 games for $5. The problem is there aren't 5 notable games. The highest rated is Okomotive and Assemble Entertainment's Far Lone Sales. Over on Steam, it's 94% positive rated of over 14 or nearly 14,000 user reviews. It's got a Metacritic score of 88. Far Lone Sales. Let's see what this is. It looks pretty. I like the art style. Interesting. Roughly 3 to 6 hours long, that's it. If you liked Insider Limbo, this could be a game for you, it says, which are both notable games as well. I'll link this for you if you guys are interested, okay? Fanatical's a legit site, though, can confirm. Here we go. Ashes of Creation. I haven't heard anything about this game in quite some time. Ashes of Creation gameplay video shows impressive player-run town. This is an MMORPG, if you're not familiar. This has been a game that's been in development for quite some time. Intrepid Studios released an extensive gameplay video of its upcoming sandbox MMORPG, Ashes of Creation, showing a player-run town. Oh, you know what, dude? I forgot to turn the music off. My bad, guys. There we go. There we go. Solid. Sorry. Let's get back in it. Known as Node System, this feature lets groups of players build and run fully functional custom towns offering service buildings, events, and much more. It's basically the defining feature of the game, one of the most anticipated among its fan base. Not only do we get to take a stroll around town, but we also get to see how the taxation system works. Then we move on to the building of a smithy that can be used to craft weapons and armor. After taking a look at how the smithy is actually used, we climb up to the downtown area, where the administrative buildings are located. We also hear from the developers that there will be various kinds of nodes with different layouts. The feature is definitely impressive, and I'm sire, I think that's supposed to be sure. I'm sure many are eager to play with it when the Alpha 2 becomes available, albeit don't yet know when that will be. Watch the video below. Alright, let's see this. Give me that quality bean footage.
And welcome everyone to another live stream here in the
I'll let you watch it. I'm gonna grab some coffee.
Boy, do we have an exciting stream today. We are back again looking at one of the most defining features of Ashes of Creation, the node system. And I am joined today by a regular face on the live stream, one of our glorious senior designers, Mr. Chris. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing swell. I don't know if I'd say regular though.
Well, I mean, you know, there's once before, right?
There was one other time.
That's regular. Now it's 2 times. That's a regular thing, right?
I don't know. I feel like you're a regular on the streams.
That's true. All right, I apologize. We are joined once again by one of our glorious designers, Mr.
It definitely
Chris.
looks better than it did last time I saw the game. Last time I saw the game, it looks
Thanks for having
terrible.
me. It's great to be here.
Look at this
And
foliage,
for those of you who
though.
don't know, Chris
What is this foliage
is,
doing?
Our resident expert when it comes to nodes. He lives, eats, breathes.
I mean, it is an alpha
and
build,
any
so
other
let's
normal
keep
bodily
that in
function
mind.
that's
But
required revolves
it's real
around
blippy.
the node system. So I'm glad to have you with us because you know what there needs to be known about nodes. Where are we? Oh, sorry.
We're lots of things need to be known, but we're outside of a beautiful node that's around the corner a little bit.
Okay, and I believe I am the self-appointed mayor of this node for the purposes of what we're going to be demonstrating a little bit later.
Yeah, the citizens aren't super happy that you, invalidated the election process, but...
Wow. It's not an invalidation. It's a reaffirmation of the correct election process. So tell me what we're doing out here today. What are we going to be showcasing here? It's been a long time since we've actually taken a look at nodes, as many of you know. The last time we saw nodes was back during Alpha 1 in August of 2021. Wow. And nodes during that time were, relatively early functional version. They had a lot of the core systems and functionality present that we saw, which was, constructing buildings and participating in quest hubs. They were able to purchase housing and become citizens. There was all that there, but they were a very early representation of it, and definitely not visually or aesthetically what we wanted to present. That's going to be part of what we're showing. But what are we doing out here today? And while you tell me what we're doing, I'm just going to adjust some of the winds.
Yeah, for sure. Well, today we're going to walk through kind of the general process of what it takes to build a building. We're going to get some materials. We're going to get the nodes some materials. We're going to get the nodes some money. And we're going to build ourselves a little service building.
Nice. So we're going to go generally around the loops that players can expect. And obviously nodes are a huge system. They are, as I said, one of the defining features of Ashes of Creation, what sets us apart from other MMOs. They reflect the change that exists within the environment based off of player activity, player actions, and players have governance over these nodes, both from a mayoral perspective and the way that citizens interact with the decisions that the mayor is utilizing. And as a mayor, one of those core loops is, as you mentioned, buy orders. Tell me, should I be starting one of these? How would I go about doing that?
Yeah, so you probably should do that. There is a lovely menu you can open with the node button, N.
Okay, all right. Oh, I see the node here.
And then you're going to go to the treasury page.
Got it. I am on the treasury, and I see there's a
Now,
number of different items in our node inventory.
yeah, so
including-
these are node commodities, and they're the resources the node uses for lots of things like siege defense. They're going to use it for maintenance. They're going to use it to build buildings. They're going to trade it with other nodes.
Cool. And these are essentially the resources that the node are going to be using in order to initiate those activities, like construction projects you were mentioning, or trading with other nodes. And what is the method by which we actually acquire as a node these goods? Because these goods are not things that exist within player inventories, but rather they are generated by players interfacing with the environment in some way, shape, or form, and then bringing those materials to the node to get transitioned into these node inventory items.
Exactly. So we're going to do what's called a buy order. So if you look in the bottom left of your treasury screen, you're going to see a little plus button. You can click that and it'll open you up to a big list of commodities that you can select to kind of set some settings on the buy orders.
Okay, cool. This is looking good. And just always, as usual, guys, everything that you see is a work in progress. We are moving towards our Alpha 2, so you get to see, as part of our open development, things that are still works in progress, like the UI. This is a functional UI system, but it is not the version of our final UI artistically. Same is true for everything you see in the environments and in the world. So what should I be selecting today? What do we need? What are we trying to build?
You're going to need some bins of stone. We're going to build a forge today, or a
nice.
smithy. We
Smithy,
renamed
okay.
it. It's not a forge anymore.
Okay, cool.
And you're going to need bins of stones for it.
All right, so I see bins of stone in the industrial goods section. And
Yep.
over on the right-hand side, I see that I have the ability as the mayor to customize the buy order. And what elements of this would I want to customize?
This is a
and
long
why?
flipping video. I didn't realize. Let's
They
skip
will
through a
be
little
able
bit of
to.
this.
Cool. Very cool. So those of you who
So
are
yeah.
traders and are interested in kind of, I'm going to start moving. Team has been hard at work in creating
Let's see this
the
village.
stages of these nodes, but also
It looks,
representing
dude,
the type of
incredibly
functionality
different
that we want to
than the
represent,
alpha I
within
saw
the cities of our
previously.
game.
I think
And
that was a couple of years
believe
ago,
that
maybe more than
we
that
have
though.
arrived at Winstead, and we are joined by some additional glorious members of the development team. I see two of them here. We have Mr. Tristan, our lead environment artist. Tristan, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, welcome. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing very good. We just went for a little stroll, got some resources, and now we're showing up
Alright.
back to the
You got-
node.
You got everything we need?
I do. I think I have everything we need.
All right, good.
We also have with us, I see, Adam. How you doing, buddy?
I am good.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Another one of our glorious environment artists.
Yes.
Yeah, you might find
Aw.
a few little small farm animals to hang out with around the town. but-
Those guys are great. A little piglet. Talk to me a little bit about what it took to bring this node online and to the visual fidelity that we wanted to.
A lot.
Said him.
There's far more than just making the art here look good. It's also anticipating how we're going to approach 8 different races or more in terms of the amount of assets that we have to create. So it's more of a, it's not just an artistic problem, it's a logistic problem, right? So we have so much to do when it comes to the world in terms of the biomes and making this all work and functional, because all this is dynamic. This isn't set in stone. This is something that's going to be spawned and created by the players and built up by the players. So.
And that, of course, makes it entirely more complex.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yes. Yep.
We had to develop new systems for how we develop the art, how we lay out the art, how design can use the art, just so that it can be dynamic, it can be different races,
Right.
and it can show up in different biomes.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to mention we had to build up a new aesthetic to really sell an Ashes of Creation look. Steven, before you go any further, can I show you something real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
Right back over here. You just come back here.
I am on my
Mercy
way.
waiting us.
Where? Oh, this is cool. So there's like these little back alley areas where.
Tristan, why don't you go with them?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We posted something up here.
Oh, what is
Oh.
this?
Who's that little fella?
Who is Tristan?
Okay, man.
Push forward and show progress.
Yeah. All right.
And
Does
this
he also
is
work
the.
for me? Just to be clear, he's a foreman.
He does. He does.
Okay.
Well, they're
Technically,
actually
he works
showing
for
some of the
city.
construction here.
I am the city. I am the law. I'm just kidding.
And this gentleman is the construction foreman, so this is where players will get to go to donate resources to the construction of a building.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. So he has nothing of nothing acquired. Well, what is it you say you do here, Mr. Construction Foreman? He hasn't collected yet any resources?
Oh, you just initiated it.
Do I have to do everything myself? Should I give him 100 of the oak log?
I mean, I think that's a fair thing to do.
All right. Let us donate. We shall donate to the foreman. Oh, it's beginning to construct. Now, Bruno and Scott did a great job with this construction, animation, and visual effects. As you will see, you're going to see a sped up version of this here, but typically, Chris talked to me a little bit about the time expectation for these types of projects, and of
I was
course, how
gonna
that's a
say,
variable depending on
that's
the
weird
stage
that
of
it
the
just
node
like
and the building type itself.
Yeah, so we want this to be an exciting thing. So
in the game where they're trying to capture
materials
realism
are
of
kind
like
contributed to it, and
villages
it's
being
ready
built
to finish,
by the players and stuff, you would want
there's
to
going to be
you'd want to see it
any
take
kind of
more
variable
time.
from like 15 to 20 minutes to even a couple of days for it to finish constructing, depending on kind of the power that the building offers to the players, right?
Right.
Very cool. And James, Adam, Tristan, talk to me a little bit about how you guys go about constructing these different, more modular sets of building creation, and what it takes to kind of, master that across the multiple different cultures that we're anticipating to present within these villages.
You want to take the one, Adam?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a lot of trial and error, but it took a lot of practice to figure out, what the correct size of the buildings and the plots, the walls, the doors, all.
All right, cool.
Here's the weapon and armor smithing stuff, apparently.
All right, what do we have?
Well, I hear the artisanship team hooked you up with the ability to make a blood sword.
Oh, do I have materials? Oh, I do have some materials. What should
The thing that's always
the
tough about
Samus
like
holding
seeing these
bag. It's like
showcases
infinite
is
space. That is a GM bag.
obviously MMO
Okay, so I do
RPGs
have
are
some materials. What do
grindy,
we want to do with this material?
and they just like
Do
they
you
just
want a
load
blood
their
sword or
characters in
not?
with all kinds of
No,
stuff,
I
you
don't
know.
know.
And it's obviously just meant to be a showcase of like
Crystallized blood sword.
what you can
Okay, I
expect
see.
in the game, but
It's going to be a pretty spicy
at the same
sword.
time it's weird because they'll be like, oh
Okay,
yeah, I'm just
very
gonna make this
cool.
crystallized blood sword,
Yeah.
and
let's try
everybody's like,
this.
oh well, that's
What are we
cool,
gonna
but
do?
yeah, like
So I already
is
have
this
the materials
like
for it.
something
So I just go
like
to
that we're seeing that's gonna be easily
craft one quantity. Hold on, it says I can't craft this.
resourceable?
Yes,
Like,
you gotta add your
are the
molds to
resources
it.
easily attainable, or are we talking about you're just like loading in a bunch of crazy stuff? You know,
I
it's
have
hard to tell a lot of the time.
selected my iron weapon mold, and I am using that mold and crafting. Oh, I do have a crystal blood sword now. I shall rule with a mighty fist. Let me equip this.
Does it have any kind of randomized stats or anything?
Do I actually have? Oh, I do have it.
It does look like it.
Oh, okay, that's pretty sweet. I like that. Yeah, it looks great. Very cool. All right, so now that we have constructed this building, there are also a number of upgrade paths that players can utilize to specialize the building further. We previewed
Okay.
that. Normal.
Look, this is probably got a lot of great information in it, but it's a very long video too, so I'm gonna link it and let you guys take a look at it. Ashes of Creation has been in the works at Intrepid for a number of years after it was funded via a successful Kickstarter in 2017, receiving nearly $3.3 million from almost 20,000 backers. Yeah, dude, I think that alpha that I saw originally took place in like 2020 or 2021. So when did they start development on this? I think probably like 2018, 2019. Let's look this up. Let's look up some Ashes of Creation information here. Not what I wanted. Okay. So yeah, probably roughly like 2017 to 2018 development actually started on this game. That's when all the Backstarter stuff really kicked off. They got all their money to start the development. By July 2018, 500,000 users had registered accounts on the official website. 40,000 had purchased access to the alpha and beta. The game is planned to have a $15 a month subscription model with no upfront box cost. Oh yeah, here it is. Originally scheduled to start in June, Ashes of Creation first began its closed alpha playtest period in July 14th of 2021. Oh, dude, it was way more. Yeah, this is what was crazy. I remember being blown away by this. The alpha was available for players who purchased a $500 pre-order package and was subject to a non-disclosure agreement. The first alpha period was open until August 15, 2021. Second alpha period is expected but has not been scheduled. There's been a lot of people that have been hyped about this game for a long time, but god dang, dude, are you kidding me? This is one of those wild things to me about what companies have done to the entire idea of what alpha and beta testing has always been for gaming. Alpha and beta testing traditionally was something that you wanted to do for the community interested in your game as a means to showcase what you're doing as well as test it, get feedback. And these companies are trying to now make profit off of it as well, which is actually wild. $500 to get in on the alpha of this game in 2021. This game started development between 2017 to 2018. That means they had their first alpha playtest roughly 3 years later. We'll say 2018. So 2021, 3 years later. Now it's 6 years later. They're still in alpha. Yep. 5 to 6 years later, still in alpha. I don't know. I know there are a lot of people hyped about this game, but there's just things about it that seem a bit off, if you will, for me. The premise in it, a lot of what they're incorporating as far as mechanics and stuff like that, the player created environment and towns and stuff is very, very cool. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. If you want to watch the rest of this, by all means, you do you. Square Enix has confirmed Final Fantasy XVI PC version and DLC plans. A significant update has also been released for the PS5 version. Square Enix has let's see. More details will be shared on Square Enix's plan for Final Fantasy XVI for PC before the end of the year. It said. FF16 producer Naoki Yoshida shared the news during a PAX West panel on Saturday, along with the news that a significant update has released for the PS5 version. Quote, "It's been just over 2 months since Final Fantasy XVI's release. We've received an enormous amount of feedback from players around the world," Yoshida said via a pre-recorded video. "The development team and I have also been watching your videos and streams, paying special attention to what everyone thinks of Final Fantasy XVI. We put our all into creating this game. It's a real joy to see so many different reactions." So, as an expression of our sincerest gratitude, we're releasing a free update available for download today. Full patch notes for the new update can be found embedded below. Yoshida highlighted the fact that it added new controller layouts, a weapon skin feature allowing players to change the appearance of Clive's weapon, alternate outfits for Clive, Jill, Torgal, Ambrosia, and Joshua. Quote, "As mentioned earlier, we've seen so many opinions and reactions from our community of FF16 players," Yoshida continued. "One thing that came through particularly strong was how people wanted to see more of Valisthea's story and spend more time with her inhabitants. To accommodate, the development team started working on 2 installments of paid DLC." Oh, Square. Finally, while Final Fantasy XVI was released on PS5 as a PS5 exclusive, we are aware that many of you have been asking for a PC version. Allow me to take this opportunity to officially announce that development on a PC version is currently underway. I hope to be able to give you more information on both the DLC and the PC version before the end of the year, so please stay tuned. FF16 was released for PS5 in June, and Square claimed it would remain exclusive to Sony's console for at least the remainder of the calendar year. Prior to the game's release, Yoshida said he'd like to see a PC version of the game released eventually. He also said, "Don't worry about the PC release, just go buy a PS5. Yoshida can get wrecked, dude. So here's a free update showcase, and it's a minute long. And I'll talk about my viewpoint on this game and Yoshida. The fact that they didn't put a skin in for Torgal that makes him look like Red from FF7 is a miss. All right, there we go. Look, I mean, here's the deal. This game, we know for a fact out of Square, this game has not met sales expectations. Probably one of the reasons they're trying to get it out to PC quicker than they probably would have otherwise. I think for anybody interested in this game, and look, I'll link this for you too. Anybody interested in this game, I think what you need to know is that it's a well-developed game, from what I understand. It's there are things to note here. This is not a traditional Final Fantasy game. That's not what you're going to get out of this experience. It is a action melee game with very, very shallow RPG elements. They basically took what you would see in a game like Devil May Cry, and they took the main gameplay elements of a game like that, and they put a Final Fantasy skin over it. Now, some people are going to be okay with that. Many traditional Final Fantasy fans are going to be like, that's not really a Final Fantasy game, because Final Fantasy is traditionally an RPG. This is not really an RPG. It's very, very, very shallow RPG, if anything. And so you just need to know that going into this. The other thing is that this game is... Let's look up how long to beat. From what I understand, you're looking at about 35 hours. For like main story. Yeah, like 35 hours main story. I mean, you can get more out of it, but this is like even if you're doing like a leisure main story playthrough, roughly 40 hours, right? Roughly half of that time, 17 to 18 hours is what we've been told of this game, the main story and everything is cinematic. So roughly half of this playtime, half of this median playtime for main story content is just cinematic. So you're only playing about half of that. You need to be ready for that. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely something to be said for very good cinematics, and from what I understand, the cinematics in this game are very good. And everybody's going to feel a bit different about this respectively. But personally, while I feel that cinematics can definitely add to a gameplay experience for immersion and stuff, like I feel like 2018's God of War was one of the more notable experiences for me as of late, of a game that did a great job of incorporating some very, very good cinematics in it and stuff, but it wasn't polluted with it. This game feels polluted. I haven't played it, but from what I understand, half of the main story is just watching it. You're not playing, you're just watching it. And so you might be fine with that. That might be something I'm putting for you. If I want to watch a show, I'll go watch a show. If I want to play a game, I'm playing video games to play the game, not sit there and watch it half the time. You know what I mean? Personally, for me, that's a turnoff. So good cinematics occasionally are very, very good and very engaging and very good for immersion in games I play. But I don't want to be watching 17 to 20 hours worth of cinematics in a main storyline of a game that's 35 hours to 40 hours long. That's just not for me. I think that's something else that you need to be aware of for this game. So it's coming to PC. I think they're going to try to get it out sooner rather than later because it didn't sell as well as they wanted it to. I think the other thing you need to be wary of here is that Square Enix is not traditionally very good about their PC ports. So, if you are interested in playing this on PC, my advice would be let it drop before you buy it, because they are not traditionally very good at their PC ports. I am going to expect this game to hit PC with issues, performance issues. I just expect it from Square. They're not good at their PC ports. That's what I think you need to know. I'll link this for you in case you need it. Oh, baby, I can't wait for this. Arcane League of Legends Season 2 reportedly releasing in 2024. Look, coming from somebody that I'm not even really like a League of Legends fan, I'm not a hater either. I respect the game for what it is. It doesn't appeal to me. I played a little bit of it here and there in like roughly 2020. I took a stab at it just to kind of see what the game was about. It didn't really grasp me, you know what I mean? But it was okay. It just nothing that really kept me interested. But if you've not seen the adaptation on Netflix, Arcane is League of Legends, Riot's League of Legends adaptation for TV, right, or streaming service, and it is phenomenal. I had a community member tell me about it when it first came out, and I didn't really think much of it because I'm not a huge fan of like this lore or this universe or anything, but I watched it, was blown away. The music, the writing, the storytelling, the characters, it's all fantastic. The animation is just amazing as well. Like, it's really, really, really good. I've been waiting for the next season for what seems like forever, man. As rumors and suppositions around the eagerly awaited arrival of Arcane League of Legends Season 2, the gaming and entertainment industries have been ablaze with excitement. After its debut season, fans clamored for more of this animated series based on the very successful League of Legends video game brand. According to a recent presentation at a conference in China, League of Legends Arcane fans should note December 20th. Good night, dude. Really? When did Arcane release, dude? It had to be like the beginning. It had to be sometime in 2021. End of 2021, maybe. If at the latest, the beginning of 2022. The very beginning of 2022, I think. So I think it's apparent that they were not necessarily expecting to potentially be making another season of this. I don't know. Even though there were a lot of like loose ends for the ending of the season, and we were all expecting more. Feels like it's taken them a long time to get this out. Like they just weren't working on the second season while the first one was being released or something. I don't know. December 20th of next year. So for the unofficial date, if that's true, that's a little bit less than a year and a half away. They go over a lot of things that would be spoilers here, so I'm not gonna. If anybody needs a recap or you want to know a little bit of what it's about, it's linked there for you. But good night, dude. I was really hoping it would be closer to like the beginning of this coming year or something, man. God. Unofficial though, so we'll see what happens there. Video game release dates for PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, Switch, and more. Yeah, here we go, man. So it is September. I was gone the past few days, so I didn't get to really hit on this. Should have hit on it on the first before I left, but I forgot to pull it up. So the games, more notable games that are releasing, all right, for this month. We've got Chants of Sinar, Rune Factory 3 Special, Baldur's Gate 3 for PS5, Starfield, full release on the 6th. It's already out for all the early access purchasers. Dragoness Command of the Flame, Melvor Idol, Atlas of Discovery Expansion, Toss, Fae Farm, NBA 2K24, Homa Detective Noir Story, Eternights, The Isletide Hotel, Newer, Hectic's Fork, Super Bomberman R2, Ad Infinitum, AK... No way, dude, what? Wait. I want to play this. AK Oxalotl. Yo, this game's on my wish list. I didn't know this was releasing right now. Yo, this, if you know what Enter the Gungeon is, this game basically is like bullet hell, Enter the Gungeon, roguelike kind of game. It really reminds me of Enter the Gungeon a lot because of its the way it looks and everything, you know, but take a look at this. How flippin' cute is this, too? Flippin' oxalotls. Oh, and tentacles. Dude, we gotta play it. Oh. Week and a half? Oh, baby. Oh, my God. See, it looks so Enter the Gungeon, dude. So much about it looks like Enter the Gungeon. Oh my God. God, I love these kinds of games. AKX. God dang it, dude. Oh, that's hype, dude. I forgot. This was coming out right now. There is a demo. I'll link this for you guys. Oh, crappers. Oh, crappers. Hold on. Oh, crappers. So I've got to update our schedule. I'm behind on updating this. When they say September 14th. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll leave that up. We need to talk about the schedule today. I got to get it updated. Oh, man. Here, let me link this for you guys. Dude, I love these kinds of games. There you go. There's a demo for the game. So, Too Awesome Studio. What else have they done? Aeon Drive stuff. Okay. Interesting. I'm not real familiar with them. Titanfall 2 Ultimate Edition, $3. This is supposed to be a banger of a game, and I never played it. But $3, it's pretty solid. Divinity 2. Wait. What? Why is the definitive edition $18? I'm tripping, dude. Oh, the Eternal Edition is what it is. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. All right, let's keep going. Construction Simulator Sani Pack on September 14th. The Crew Motor Fest on September 14th. Heavy Duty Challenge September 14th. Sugar Shack. Why does that sound familiar? Why does Sugar Shack sound familiar? Online co-op indie cooking building. Oh, this is adorable. Welcome to Sugar Shack. Oh, I do remember seeing this. I'll let you watch it real quick, though. You never catch me, coppers. Is that a devil? That's cool. Kind of loud, sorry. Some of these trailers get really loud sometimes. It's weird. All right. Baby Shark Sing and Swim Party. Bait and Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster. Didn't this get... Oh, no, it was a different one I was thinking of. Biteland Overclocked, September 15th. Gloomhaven for the Switch on September 18th. Dragonair Silent Gods, September 19th. Farming Simulator 22, September 19th. Lies of P. We're going to be watching this one. I've been watching this game's development for a very, very long time. I'm really interested in this. but I'm also wondering if it's going to hit the mark or not, you know? So the premise behind it being the world of Pinocchio in a Dark Souls or a Souls-born manner of a game. You know, it's not FromSoft, but it's dark, it's ominous, which is what the story of Pinocchio traditionally was, anyways. It looks like it could be good. It could also be one of those Souls-born clone type games that misses, because we've seen that happen a lot too, right? I hope it's good because the premise of this I think is very interesting. But I'm gonna wait until it releases. We'll check and see what it's like, and then maybe play it after it releases if it rates well. Mortal Kombat 1 on the 19th of September. You Suck at Parking, September 19th. Men of War 2, September 20th. Party Animals on September 20th. Witchfire on September 20th. Hell Sweeper, September 21st. Payday 3, September 21st. I'll be playing this game with anybody in the community that wants to play with me. I will be playing Payday 3. The thing that sucks is this pops off right before Scaretober. So, Scaretober. So I'll probably play Payday 3 up until Scaretober. Then Scaretober will happen and it'll be just horror games that whole time. And then I will probably slot in a little bit of Payday 3 here and there as we move forward through November and December while I play Baldur's Gate 3. Because I'm going to need my Payday 3. Warhaven, September 21st. Shuyan Saga, September 22nd. Slaps and Beans 2, September 22nd. Project Planet, September 25th. Relic Hunters Legend, September 25th. These Doomed Isles, September 25th. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty expansion DLC for September 26th. Miniko's Night Market, September 26th. My Time at Sandrock, September 26th. Paleo Pines, September 26th. Truck Driver The American Dream, September 26th. Astronomo, September 27th. Firefighting Simulator The Squad for the Switch on September 28th. Gothic Classic on the Switch, September 28th. Infinity Strash, Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai, September 28th. Islanders VR Edition, September 28th. Wildminder, September 28th. Cocoon, which looks cool, September 29th. EA Sports FC 24, September 29th. Park Beyond, Beyond Extreme DLC, September 29th. Asterix and Obelix Heroes, to be determined, still for this month. Big Fat Battle, same. And Inspector Gadget, also TBC. Okay. Then October's below that. So just read all those off. October's below that. Here's your list if you need it. I'll be bookmarking that so we have it moving forward. Red Dead Redemption 3 is officially in the works, it's claimed. So Rockstar can make another game that they just completely disregard moving forward in light of just focusing solely on GTA. I mean, truth hurts, but that's exactly what this will be. Been claimed online by a popular leaker that Red Dead Redemption 3 is officially in the works. Could be because Grand Theft Auto 6 is nearing the end of its development cycle and preparing for its impending announcement and subsequent release. As a result, Rockstar is pivoting to focus on Red Dead Redemption 3, which will likely be another 6 or 7 years from being released. 2030, probably close to that, yeah. Leak comes courtesy of @MyTimeToShine H on Twitter, who recently also posted a claim that a Hogwarts Legacy sequel is in development. We have that up. My Time to Shine H is more of a movie-focused leaker, specializing in Marvel and DC. And as these leaks are as of yet uncorroborated, we're waiting to establish a video game-focused track record for the individual. Yeah, I mean, nothing official here. So I would say big grains of salt until we find out official. But I mean, it would make sense too, right? If Rockstar's obviously going to be focused on GTA 6 even after it releases. But if there's any other game that they were going to be doing after GTA 6, it would be this. because as many other games as they have that have huge fan bases and people have been asking for forever, whether it be Bully or, you know, anything like that, they don't really care. But Red Dead is a distant second place to Grand Theft Auto. And so if they need something to work on after Grand Theft Auto, it's going to be this. Hogwarts Legacy 2 is in development, it's claimed. A new claim suggests Hogwarts Legacy 2 is in development, presumably by Avalanche. That would make sense since they made the first one. News comes, like we just talked about, from My Time to Shine on Twitter, who said, sources confirmed that a Hogwarts Legacy sequel is in the works. Admittingly, the claim is probably one of the safest bets someone can state following Hogwarts Legacy outstanding launch, making it one of the best-selling games of 2023 so far. It's exactly what I said earlier today. It would kind of be absurd not to follow it up. Or to follow it up with something else would not make sense. You want to ride that wave. So, sucked on PC, but it sold a lot. Saints Row isn't dying following Volition's shutdown. So days ago, it was revealed that after more than 30 years of operations, Volition and Embracer Studio had closed its doors. It was a decision made during the ongoing restructuring of Embracer, and it came after the evaluation of strategic and operational goals. Really, what happened was a $2 billion deal fell through between Embracer and the the Public Investment Fund or whatever, from the Saudi Arabian government. And so that resulted in Embracer taking an internal look at what they could do to trim the fat, as it were. And this is part of the result of that. In the time that followed, many fans and critics of the firm wondered alike what would be happening to Volition's games, namely the Saints Row and Red Faction franchises, as surely the closure of the studio would have drastic implications on those series. A follow-up statement to the Volition news, Deep Silver clarified what happens next with Volition's games. They're not gone for good. Fortunately for the fans of Volition's games, it isn't the end of the road. Sorry, guys. Fortunately for the fans of Volition's games, it isn't the end of the road. It might be that Saints Row 2022 was one of the worst games to release in recent years, but it wasn't the final nail in the coffin for the series that has been in decline for more than a decade. In a very brief statement published by Deep Silver on Twitter, it was revealed that Volition's IPs will live on at Plaion, whose most recent success exists in the form of Dead Island 2, one of the best open-world zombie games to emerge in recent years. So while Volition has been sadly shut down for good, its games will still exist. They're just being created by a different developer moving forward. I kind of assumed that would be the case, right? Because Embracer has the option of, now that those are their IPs now, right? So Embracer has the option of having a studio, an in-house studio, take some of those IPs and try and develop them moving forward, or potentially sell them off to another development studio that wants them. That's Embracer's jam, dude. This is what they do. So, looks like they are handing off some of the titles. Anyways, Alunico, what up, friendo? How you doing, buddy? How was your weekend? And we'll see what happens. See what happens there. Bethesda says Redfall will get to be a good game, just like Fallout 76. Dude. All right, dude. We didn't get the start we wanted, but it's still a fun game. Says who? Is this coming from Hod Towered? To be fair, this isn't a Bethesda-made game either, though. This was Arcane. Bro, what? GTA 6 is rumored to be $150? Past. I mean, is that really a surprise? Is that really going to be a surprise coming from a studio that just had people pay $50 for a 13-year-old game? Look, dude, Rockstar can get wrecked. So, I mean, is it a bit of a shock to see it? Yeah, but am I totally surprised? Not really. Rockstar's gross, dude. You know, it's an interesting thing to hear. And I think that is that the base game? The base game just 150? We'll see. So what we just read was that, obviously Red Dead 3 would be their next project, but we wouldn't see that until probably, the turn of the next decade. But yeah, we just read about that too, Lunico. Yo, General, what's up? Yeah, General. Yeah, basically, that's what I'm getting ready to talk about. Yeah. Lunico, you literally just came in after I finished reading the article about, yeah, they're going to be pivoting to RDR3. But I mean, look, the thing with RDR, well, look, Rockstar in general has just become so disgusting to me. Like, I don't care to be a part of anything they do moving forward, really. They're just so blinded by greed. It's insane. RDR3 obviously is going to be their next play. They don't care about anything else. The only reason they're going to do, RDR3 next is because it's their second. It is a distant second place to them behind GTA, and they need something else to work on. So obviously it's going to be Red Dead, right? They don't give a crap about Bully. They don't give a crap about any of the other stuff that all their fans have been asking for forever. That's it. Yo, random mode time, by the way. Nice. It's gonna be a good day, dude. We got tentacles. Yeah. So we'll get back into this, but yo, that's interesting to hear, Alunico. Yeah. So here's the thing: is it impossible for a game to be terrible on release and turn into something decent? No. It's just very, very rare. Oh, for real? God dang, dude. I'm telling you, Rando Mo, dude, is so. It's alive, dude. It knows exactly the kinds of emotes we need, the kinds of things we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like your statements right there, and then come on, bruh. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff happens all the time. It's hilarious. Really wild. Yo, thanks, dude. Thanks, Lunico. That's wild, dude. I don't know. Rockstar can get wrecked, dude. I don't care. That's not a company I'll support anymore. At least not for the future moving forward. That's just too disgusting. There have been games that have been terrible on release that have been turned into something decent that have been viable moving forward. It's very rare though, right? Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, that game was a mess on release. They basically completely rebuilt that game, turned it into something very good, and it has been a notable title for quite a while now. You know what I mean? But it's a very rare thing to see that happen. It's very, very rare. And here's the thing. Most of the time, if a game is going to evolve to turn into something decent moving forward, it's got to have something of a decent base to it. I don't think Redfall has that, dude. I just don't see it. Well, I don't think the issue with Cyberpunk was ever an issue of content, though. I mean, the issue with Cyberpunk was an issue of performance. Mostly. To be fair, there was some content stuff in the game that was not fantastic. A lot of the vehicle stuff, a lot of the AI for like cops and stuff was not good, stuff like that. But the Cyberpunk issue was a performance issue, and that's not necessarily what we're talking about right now. Right? We're talking about games that come out, and Redfall was not terrible performance-wise. It just wasn't a fun game. You know? So I think that's what I'm getting at is like the core of what if you're going to talk about a game and like we're going to make this into something decent, it's like, do you have enough of a base in a title there to actually turn it into something decent? I don't think they really do with Redfall, to be honest. They might, but I don't think that General's probably wrong there either. I think it's too far gone. I don't think enough people actually have an interest in it, even if they do a bunch of developing to change what Redfall is from what it currently is to make it into something even decent. I don't think enough people care anymore to actually even dive in and give it a shot. It'll help that it's on Game Pass, but outside of that, I don't think many people care. And as far as the whole Cyberpunk is good now thing, I've heard the same thing. The issue for me with CDPR and Cyberpunk is that game was a busted piece of crap on every single platform. Apparently the game of the decade. Yeah, never. I own it. I own RDR, dude. I own it on PS3. I don't need to buy the port. I'm not buying that game, dude. Get wrecked. That's insane. I know you're memeing me, but yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, the Cyberpunk thing is like, for me, that's what made CDPR feel so terribly disgusting. They knew for a fact that game wasn't ready to release. It's become an iconic thing for people to talk about in the gaming industry about an example of a terrible release, you know. Well, General, I say this all the time. There are not very many other companies that can stand up to CDPR when it comes to content. You want to talk about narrative, lore, character, writing, things like that. There are not a whole lot of other companies that can stand up to that kind of stuff for CDPR, which is why they're still alive. Many other companies, if they had done what CDPR did with Cyberpunk and duped that many people with that terrible of a game release, they wouldn't have survived. My thing is, they cheated a ton of people on the release of that game when they knew it wasn't ready. That's not acceptable, man. I'm not talking about what it is now, right? The fact of what they did originally with that, they knew it wasn't ready. You know they knew that that game wasn't ready to be released. It was terrible on all platforms. All platforms. Even on PC, where it was more playable than any other platform, it still was bad for a lot of people. But it was trash, dude. It was a dumpster fire. They marketed the crap out of it. They promoted the crap out of it. They got a ton of people to buy into that game. Roughly 13 million to be exact. It was a huge scam. Roughly 13 million people bought into that game on pre-order and roughly right around release time. 13 million people, and they knew that game wasn't ready, dude. That's the thing that it kills me about a company like that. It's just a terrible business practice. It's a terrible company. They did that to everybody, and knowing it wasn't ready. That's where I have an issue. It has nothing to do with the content of the game. It has to do with cheating us as gaming enthusiasts and as the consumer, right? And fine, yeah, they turned the game. What? Here's the thing: people go, well, the game's good now, right? Where people kind of take that sentiment to is like almost like giving them a pat on the back or whatever, right? It's almost like giving a company a pat on the back, or like kudos or accolades or whatever for turning the game into something that it should have been on release anyways. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go, oh man, you guys are awesome, great job for making the game what it should have been in the first place anyways. It's a terrible mindset to have, in my opinion. So that's where I have a huge issue with companies that do that kind of thing, you know? I don't care. I don't care. I will never ever say or think that video game development is an easy thing, but it is not fair of a company like CDPR to make their community, their fan base, and consumers pay the price for something that they're not willing to take a hit for. They did not want to delay the game and say, it's not ready, we're sorry, it's not ready. They didn't want to catch any kind of flack on that front. So instead, they pushed out a piece of crap that wasn't ready, and they duped everybody. That's not acceptable in my book. You know, that's where I have the biggest issue with a company like CDPR. And until they show me they can be different than that, I'll continue to criticize them for it. You know, it's terrible. And that's where I look, there's a big difference between companies that we all need to be accepting of software companies and developers needing to have delays, right? It's just a fact of the matter. Development of video games is a very difficult process. It's a very long and arduous process with a lot of different pieces that come together. And they're not always going to fit right away, all those pieces, right? So we have to be understanding of the fact that the scope of these projects are huge. And sometimes they're going to need a bit of a delay. But this is where good project planning comes into place for these businesses. They've got to plan for the fact that they're going to maybe need a little bit of buffer time every once in a while to incorporate, assuming that there's going to be those kinds of things that happen, right? And if they project plan very well, normally they're going to be able to hit their dates because they won't push out dates that they won't be able to hit in the first place. But even if they push out a window or a date that they need to delay for, we need to be accepting of the fact that we would rather see a very polished product be pushed out after a delay than the opposite, right? Which is a game get pushed out too soon and be a hot piece of crap and feel like we got cheated out of our money, right? So the other side of that is you take a company like Ubisoft with a game, and I'm going to give you an example, a game like Skull and Bones, right? Skull and Bones has been delayed roughly 8 times now. That tells you something's wrong. So it's absolutely acceptable. And I 9 out of 10 true gaming enthusiasts will tell you that we are absolutely understanding of delays, because we would rather have a polished game than be trying to play a piece of crap, right? But on the flip side of that, there are indicators that something's bad about a game and bad about a development studio whenever it's delay after delay after delay after delay after delay after delay. That's still not our fault, right? That's the business. And to be fair, I mean, these businesses are that's their job. Their job is to produce quality products for us as the consumer. And the thing that sucks is that there aren't enough regulations in place to hold them accountable when they do crap like that to us, which is why it's our job to hold them accountable, because there isn't anything other than that. So if we keep just paying them and buying into their crap that they do to us all the time, it just snowballs and gets worse. Yeah, CDPR is absolutely amazing at content. It doesn't make up for them doing scummy crap to us, though. I don't care if it's CDPR. I don't care if it's EA. I don't care if it's Blizzard. All of them. We, as a united front of gaming enthusiasts, have to quit buying into the scummy crap they do to us, because there's no other regulations or organizations that are going to stand up and do it for us and hold them accountable for pushing out broken products. You know what I mean? It's a really, really weird industry because there aren't regulations to hold them accountable. That's the thing that sucks about it. People always, I get the whole like broken record thing. I talk about this a lot, but it's a lot of other industries in the world have these standards by which they have to hold to. They have to have outside organizations and stuff that are a part of their industry that if the products they're pushing out and the standards by which they're producing their merchandise and things like that aren't hitting those standards, right? Then they get sanctioned for it. They get, fined for it, all kinds of different stuff. They have to be recalled and things like that. The gaming industry isn't like that. There's none of that stuff in place. So these software developers just get to run amok, dude, and they just get to take advantage of us as the consumer all the time because there's nothing in place to do it. There's nothing in place to hold them accountable for doing this crappy stuff. So you get these developers and publishers that lean on things like a name, right? Whether it be a name like Blizzard or a product name like Star Wars or whatever, and knowing that they're doing scummy stuff and knowing that products are malfunctioning or broken and not ready to be pushed out, but they do it anyways because they know they can get away with it and they know people will buy it because of the name that's behind it, right? And they know that there's nothing, there are no kind of repercussions for it. It's terrible, man. Which is why it falls on us, unfortunately. A lot of people don't look at it like that. But if people don't start paying attention to these companies that do this kind of stuff to us and quit buying into it, it just gets worse and worse because unfortunately it does fall on us as the consumer and as the enthusiasts in these industries. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. I know I talk about it a lot and people are like, well, I don't really care that much to pay attention. It's like, okay, well, unfortunately, you're going to be probably part of the problem that feeds the beast. Because we don't have anybody above us. We don't have anybody else. We don't have any other regulatory committees or anybody that holds these companies accountable for what they're doing on the scummy side of things. So either you pay attention and you do your part to quit feeding these large, greedy, juggernaut piece of crap companies, or you don't, and you just keep paying them and they keep doing worse and worse and worse by you. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's the truth. I don't know, man. It's terrible. I hate that it's that way. I really do. But this is the world we live in for all of us that love video games, man. It really is. Um so I don't know who. I mean, I'm sure there are a few people that think that Redfall is a fun game, but I don't think it's very many. Pete Hines, Bethesda's head of global publishing, has shared that the launch of Redfall suffered from the same issues as Fallout 76, that it won't be abandoned. Redfall is no different for us. Now, look, again, the difference here is Fallout 76 is a Bethesda developed and published game, whereas Redfall is an Arcane developed and Bethesda published game. There's a difference there. We didn't get the start we wanted with Redfall, but it's still a fun game, Hines said in a new interview with GamesIndustry.biz. We're going to keep working on it. We're going to do 60 frames per second. We're going to get it to be a good game because we know as a first-party studio, Game Pass lives forever. He added that he imagines there will be people 10 years from now who are going to join Game Pass. Arcane's open-world first-party supernatural shooter will be there. I doubt it. You guys think Redfall will actually be a part of a live service game in a decade? I don't think so. Maybe. But the current state of the game, I don't think it lasts very long. In Enemy's 2-star review of Redfall, the game was described to be compromised in its intention to deliver a co-op shooter as well as an immersive experience that fans would have expected from the developer. There's Arcane Gold here, but you have to pan for it amongst identikit streets and woodlands that might up the play area, explained Jake Tucker. 2018, the launch of Fallout 76 was significantly catastrophic for Bethesda. Criticism of its technical issues, high number of fetch quests, absent non-playable characters painted a picture of an unfinished project sent out to market. A report also alleged that Bethesda borrowed developers from Redfall and Starfield to assist on the state of Fallout 76, knocking onto the workload on those games too. However, updates have elevated the online role-playing game in the player's opinion, with additions like Wastelanders expansion introducing 2 factions and a reputation system. I don't know. It sounds like they're committed to trying and turning this into something decent. Is it too late? I don't know. I don't know. I think Fallout 76 is in something like Final Fantasy 14. You take a look at those games and they've got a different. The potential for them to be turned into something that people would go back and take a look at is different than something like Redfall because of the names that are on them. You've got a very long-standing IPs that people love, right? You talk about it's got Final Fantasy on it. It's got Fallout on it. So just because there are long-standing fans of those franchises, and even if those games were bad in the first place, the potential for people to come back and give them another shot after they had been revamped, if you will, I think is much higher than a game like Redfall, which is just a one-off game from a Bethesda subsidiary. You know what I mean? Not that Arcane hasn't done great stuff in the past, but it's not like this is a long-standing series or anything. Arcane is a notable developer. They missed here, for sure. But I don't know that the potential for people to come back and try this game out is really there in regards to some other titles that have had the same thing happen, where you've at least got long-standing fans of an IP that are more willing to come back and give it a try. I don't know. I don't really see this happening, but I guess the future will tell. 3 more PS Plus Essential games are available to download now. Okay, look, man. This is something it's not anything new. Here's the deal. PS Plus essential games for this month are Saints Row Reboot, Generation Zero, and Black Desert. Pretty lackluster for PlayStation Plus subscribers. On top of that, everybody that is a subscriber to PS Plus or thinking about subscribing to PS Plus, there's about a 25 to 30% annual price increase. And honestly, I don't know where PlayStation gets off feeling like they have any right to increase price on people right now. Their subscription service that, to be honest, PS Plus has only been out for a little over a year, right? In a capacity of a subscription service that lines up in anything close to Game Pass. And I say close because they're still missing a legitimate key part of what makes Game Pass so unique, in that Xbox will always release their first party games, their proprietary games, day one on that service, and PlayStation will not. So I say close because they're still not the same kind of service that Game Pass is, in my opinion, because of that one key factor. But the fact that Game Pass has been out since 2018, I think it is, and this is the first time Microsoft has raised prices for subscribers on Game Pass. Not that they didn't try before, but this is the legit first time they've raised prices. And now PlayStation having their subscription service out for a year feels like they get to do the same thing when they're missing a key piece of what Xbox does with their Game Pass. I don't see it. I don't understand. Aside from the fact that they just know they have a good number of people locked into being PlayStation only players that will pay it, which is gross. But this is a very lackluster lineup of games to headline their subscription service for September, for sure. Starfield, we started looking at this today, or on the 1st, before I went on my vacation, and it's still sitting right around where it was previously. I'm more interested at this point in seeing user reviews, which are going to take place starting tonight into tomorrow. So we'll start looking at user reviews as well. Here's my worry, and we're going to talk about this in a second. PC, I've heard about some PC issues. I am not seeing PC issues come up in almost any of these critic reviews, and that'll happen occasionally. So what I'm looking for now is, the game reviews, well, I've heard good stuff. I've heard that it's a bit bleak, dude. And I understand that from a gamer's point of view. I understand what Bethesda was trying to do with the game too, as far as a more realistic space expedition kind of experience where a lot of planets would be barren. But from a gamer's point of view, that's going to get old. It gives at least a lot of real estate being planets that something can be done with in the future, whether it be from Bethesda's, own development team or by modders or whatever, you know what I mean? But it is reviewing very well right now from critics. I am interested in seeing what users are going to say as well. So we will look at this throughout the next few days to really get a nice baseline from what users are saying as well. You can see Metascore for PC is an 88 of 51 critic reviews. Series X is an 86 of 55 critic reviews. So it's right there, mid to high 80s, which is very, very solid. It's very notable. And we'll keep track and see where the user scores are lining up in relation to the critic reviews here, especially on the performance side of stuff for PC. I think is where we might see maybe a little bit of reduction there in reviews. But let's see this real quick. Starfield PC players are struggling to maintain 60 frames. I even forgot about that. Starfield on PC doesn't have the same 30 frame cap as console. Players are still struggling to keep it running at 60. Did Starfield have a 30 frame cap on both consoles? I thought it was just going to be on the S. Man, I might be misremembering. Starfield players on PC say they're struggling to maintain 60 frames per second, even though they're not restricted by the same 30 frame cap as those on console. Apparently, it is across both. While they can reach and even surpass 60 frames, many fans are disappointed with how difficult this is to sustain, particularly during combat. Many are eager to add they're enjoying the game, but also feel that Bethesda needs to work on the performance improvements for PC. They fear that this version of Starfield isn't well optimized and aren't happy with the graphical limitations they're having to accept to ensure that the frame rate doesn't dip below 60. The community needs to be louder about the performance issues, says Reddit user, what is that? Minitickle? Might be a good game, but poor performance is what can stop a lot of people from enjoying the game fully. Absolutely, I agree. Right now, I'm not seeing enough community feedback about this issue. It's running well below what should be acceptable for how the game looks. They then linked some content creators who have shared their own struggles hitting high frame rates at 1080p despite using an 4070 Ti. Jesus. While the Starfield subreddit has been largely impressed with the game since its early access period kicked off yesterday, many in the reply still agree that there's room for improvement on PC. One user even says they're getting dips in the low 40s, issue they haven't experienced with other games on their setup. I can recommend some games. They'll probably get that on. The truth is, the game doesn't even look good enough to excuse this level of performance, says Eterniter. I'm able to get more frames playing Cyberpunk maxed out with ray tracing than I do Starfield. Okay, Cyberpunk's also been worked on for a long time now, dude. I guarantee you wouldn't have gotten more frames on Cyberpunk on release than you do right now on Starfield on release. Okay, so that's not a good comparison. I have a 4070 i9 10900K and the game can barely hold 60 frames at 1440p medium. Agrees Mr. Sloppy Pants. Ludicrous. Okay. Yeah. That's not good. That's something that I usually have an issue with as well. I mean, running a 5900X and a 3070 running 1440p on, and I'll put things on medium and get like, sloppy 50 to 60 frames on games. I'm like, man, that feels bad on release. Since it's Bethesda's primary focus right now, we can definitely expect hotfixes and patches for Starfield on both console and PC. Right now, though, it looks like the devs made the right decision to cap it at 30 frames on console. If these graphics cards are struggling, it's difficult to imagine a Series X, especially the Series S, faring much better. It was a very controversial move when it was announced, but it may have guaranteed a better launch now that we've had time to come around to the idea. Yeah. Fortunately, it does have a large modding community that will help out with a lot of the performance issues, I'm sure. The thing that sucks about that is that it shouldn't be on the modding community to do that. So it should be on the developer to get things right, not the modding community. But the modding community saves our asses a lot of times, man, for games and developers that just suck at getting things fixed. So shout out to the modding community for sure. This is not a game that is a genre of game that I ever want to play at 30 frames per second. We've seen a lot of this happening on console nowadays. Games locked at 30 frames, and it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind that so many games are coming out getting locked at 30 frames. That is like what games used to be all the time, And forever now, technology-wise, we've like moved forward and been. I mean, the standard really had been like 60 frames for quite a while. And obviously, if you were playing on PC, then, you depending on what kind of monitor you were using and how good of a graphics card you would have and, how good your rig was, you and what genre you would play, you'd push above that. But there are definitely certain genres of games that you don't want to be hitting anything less than 60 frames. This is one of them. This is not a game where you want to be running around at 30 frames. I don't, for sure. I think there are a lot of people that go, 30 frames is fine, but those are people that I don't think have really experienced the pleasures, if you will, of what a steady 60 or above frames in a genre like this can really do for you. Now, to be fair, this isn't a game where you're really getting into any kind of like live service competitive environments or anything, so it's not as drastic of a thing that you have 60 frames, but it's still going to be a much more buttery experience at 60 frames than 30 frames. Absolutely. So I don't know, man. It's so weird to me that we're in this situation currently in the gaming industry where we have such powerful hardware and games are just currently, constantly releasing with stutters and unstable frame rates that just tank all the time. And it's really, really odd. Locked frame rates on consoles at 30 frames stuff. It's incredibly mind-boggling for me. I don't really get it, but hopefully they get some stuff fleshed out here pretty quick on Bethesda's side and get this increased for people and stable for people. I don't know. We'll get a better idea of how many people are having these kinds of issues on PC for sure whenever the user reviews come out starting tomorrow. Shout out to 10 Win. Treat yourself to 19 inches of venom. Kappa. And more with Marvel's Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition. This is pretty funny. Pretty funny. Yo, I love Venom. Bro, look at this. That's an inch bigger than me. Oh, jeez, dude. Oh, dude, this is blowing up. This is hilarious. You mean the figurine? Dude. So funny. Oh my god, dude. What are these hold on. What are these pre-orders going or what are these collector's editions going for, dude? That's flipping funny, dude. Thanks to it. That's funny stuff, dog. That's flipping hilarious. Hold on. Good flipping night, dude. Check this out. 220. Yeah. 220, dude, for the collector's edition. Which comes with what? Of course, the 19-inch collector's edition statue. God, dude, my eyes are watering. I was crying almost on that. A steelbook display case. Of course, the full game digital voucher. I love that they give steelbook display case whenever, this is still like a thing. The more we get into the realm of like no physical copies, they still give like steelbooks. But you don't have any game to put in there. It's so funny, dude. So it includes pre-order bonus items. Arachnite suit, early unlock. Shadow Spider suit, early unlock. Web Grabber gadget, early unlock. +3 skill points. 10 unique suits. Additional photo mode items. +2 skill points. Orantia suit. Apocalyptic suit. Tactical suit. Stone Monkey suit. and 25th Century suit. And then the encoded suit, biomechanical suit, Katsatsu suit, Agamat suit, and Red Spectre suit. Wait, what? What's up, Cash? So, yeah, it's basically just cosmetics, and don't forget your 19-inch collector's edition statue for $220. Or well, let's go with 219 because that fits with the 19-inch statue, right? That makes more sense. So, dude, these collector's editions are getting out of hand. It's just so insane. I mean, to be fair, you don't have to buy into it, but it's crazy how much they are, how much they cost, and what you get for it. You know what I mean? I will be, I'll say this. Like, I did find this one pretty dope. It's still stupid expensive. There's no way I would have paid it, but did you guys see this one? This one was pretty dope, but it was, I mean, it was also just stupid expensive. It's just insane, dude. It was cool. It came like with a big mech and everything. I think there was even one that had like a garage and everything for it. Which is really cool. But Jesus, dude. This one was like, how much was this one? I can't even remember now. They're so expensive, bro. It's just crazy. What's up, Cash? How was your weekend, buddy? What's up, dude? I don't know, but this was really fun. The reason we brought this up was because of this tweet. You know what I mean? Which shout out to Tim. This is really funny, dude. If you guys want to look at all this, this is a little bit of some subtle adult humor stuff. that collector's edition better crap gold flipping eggs, dude. Golden Goose collector's edition. This is pretty funny. There's a lot of funny comments on this, man, for you guys to take a look at. I didn't see this one before, dude. Oh my god, dude, that is flipping hilarious. Oh Jesus, that's funny, dude. God dang. People are funny, bro. That's really good stuff. Oh man. Yo, here's the releases for this month again if you guys are interested. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good, man. Awesome. I'll bookmark this. That way I'll have it for if anybody needs this month's releases or next month's releases, stuff like that, okay? Good stuff, dude. It is good to be back. Let's get some music popping off here. There we go. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. All right. I think that works. Awesome. Good to be back. Happy Tuesday, guys. Back to our normal schedule now. Appreciate everybody being understanding of me taking a bit of an end of summer holiday there. Having the past 3 days off, but it does feel very, 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 very good to be back, man. So, back to the normal schedule. Wednesday's off, so the stream will be down tomorrow. I've got some appointments, life appointments. I'll be working on content stuff and everything. I know it's kind of sucky because I just got back, but got to get back on that normal schedule. So tomorrow off, which is our normal day off for each week, and we'll be back to 1 day off a week now moving forward. So hope everybody had a great weekend, and I don't know. Thanks for the awesome news segment, man. We're going to move on and play some Fallout New Vegas for the rest of the day, but if anybody's getting to check out this news segment now, live or as a VOD later on, then we always start off all of our streams with video gaming news and all of The previous video gaming news segments are always on the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel, along with all of the playthroughs we do, which follow the news segment up immediately. So that's what we're about to go do, is continue our Fallout New Vegas playthrough. So all of our playthroughs are up on the channels as well, along with just all the other crazy wild clips, highlights of stuff. So go check out that content, and if you're enjoying it, come hang out with us, man. We got a lot of cool people that are awesome pieces of our community, help to make it an awesome, inviting, welcoming spot for everybody to be a part of here that loves video games. And we're always looking for more people to be a part of what we do here, man. So I guess other than that, it's great to be back. Happy Flippin' Tuesday. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. And we will catch everybody on Thursday for our next edition, which will be September 7th edition of Video Gaming News. All right.